think I'm Dr. Frankenstein. Actually, my name's Morgan. I'm on the guide staff. And this is our popular Tesla coil. This device we inherited, that was donated to us shortly after we opened. Our doors opened in 1935. So this coil has been with us almost from the beginning. It was a couple of years later that we got it donated to us. It's been on demonstration here, showing audiences these magnificent sparks ever since. Not very astronomical, but isn't it just very cool? We really like the Tesla coil. And you know, really the point of our exhibits, there's a big emphasis on astronomy, but we also like to just inspire our visitors with thinking about either things you've forgotten in school, or maybe showing you something that you never saw before, and maybe even inspiring you to learn something new in the future. So the Tesla coil is great for talking about all three things. This was invented by a gentleman by the name of Nikola Tesla. That's why we named it the Tesla coil. And in the history of things, which is actually thought of not too long before we opened our doors, Nikola Tesla came up with this device in the 1890s. He first demonstrated it on a big scale in 1899. But what he's done here is actually currently referred to as a step-up transformer. At the time that he had come up with this, we were still developing what electricity would look like and how it would be delivered here in the United States. So there was a lot of research being done, a lot of people doing different experiments, but the primary effort was being put into direct current by the likes of folks like Edison. Well, Tesla was very interested in explosion by alternating current, which of course is what this device is using. It mostly is comprised of two coils, a primary and secondary. The primary is about 10 turns of a thick gauge copper bar at the base. There's about 230 turns of a fairly thick gauge copper wire in the cone shape that makes the secondary. The relationship between those two, he realized, provides us with this step-up function where you can plug this into an alternating current source and end up with these magnificent sparks. So it's doing something obviously quite different from your toaster, but just like your toaster, it's plugged into alternating current electricity. So to get those sparks, it takes about 250,000 volts to fly from the top of that ball all the way to the walls. There's also another device working in conjunction with the step-up transformer. You see it glowing down here in a box in the corner back that's called a spark gap. And that device is allowing us to utilize another characteristic of alternating current. One of them being high voltage coming out the top thanks to the step-up transformer, which gives us those magnificent sparks. But the spark gap is now doing something to the frequency of the alternating current, which is allowing us to create a high energy field of energy, something that Tesla was interested in demonstrating, that in fact, using this, we can transmit energy wirelessly. And we demonstrate that now with a sign that spells out Tesla coil. Unfortunately, it's not on this side for you folks. It's on the other side. Spells out Tesla coil. Those gas tubes are not, in fact, plugged into power. But notice every time that I activate the coil, those lights light up. If you guys, I don't know if you want to go around to the other side, you can see it. They can take you over there. So what's happening is we've got a very high frequency that's generated by this spark gap that's actually allowing those gases to be activated. So Tesla was showing the concept of transmitting power wirelessly. That, of course, did not ever really become popularized. One of the biggest problems is once you transmit the energy wirelessly, how do you charge for it? That's right. You got to have a way of metering what people are using, and hence, you know what, send them along the wires a lot, and then hook up to a meter and send a monthly bill. But it's a great exhibit to try to spark some inspiration So hopefully you get a little bit inspired.